All right, well, welcome back. It's late August, almost September, and have another set of reviews.
That's right.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Don.
This is my dad, and this is Dad's book reviews. So I figured he reads a lot, and I like to just cherry pick off the top. So
Okay.
how many reviews we have this time?
We have 5 reviews this time.
And out of curiosity, out of how many books was that read?
Oh, there were probably 15.
Okay.
There were a bunch that just didn't live up to the hype.
Okay.
They had really good star ratings, but they just weren't that good. The story was interesting, but they don't develop the characters. You don't get to know the character well enough that you care what happens to him.
Okay. Oh, he died. That's too bad.
Okay, our next book is The 2-Week Curse by Michael Chatfield. This is a LitRPG fantasy series. The series name is The 10 Realms. There are 12 books in the series and it's finished. And there's about 564 pages in the first book. The 2-Week Curse is a mysterious phenomenon that's happening around the world to thousands of people. There is a blue circle of light that comes in the sky and comes down around them, and then a blue fire that comes out of the sky and hits them. The newscasts on all this happening have a lot of information about it, in that they figure out that this must be mana coming into a mana system coming into the person. And it's changing their physiology, so they now have a screen that shows them all their stats. And a guy that's a body lifter can increase his strength to where he can do thousands of pounds of lifting in those 2 weeks that he's here. A person who loves fire can learn to do fireballs while he's here on Earth. But 2 weeks after this blue ring comes out of the sky around them, they suddenly are teleported away. Big flash of light and they are gone.
So they make a big scene and then they leave.
And then they're gone. And there's a lot of news stories about it. But our protagonists are Eric West and Jimmy Rugrat Rodriguez. He goes by Rugrat. Eric was a U.S. Army medic. He's retired. Rugrat was a U.S. Marine sniper, and he's retired. They are both working as hired security personnel in Africa, trying to protect the leaders of a copper mine. The book starts with the mission going horribly wrong. The people are trying to protect are killed. Most of the people that are trying to protect them are killed. Eric is caught in a blast that blows off his arm and 2 legs. A Rugrat is able to grab him and get him back in the Range Rover that they're driving, and the driver takes them out and they survive, but he is horribly injured. At the time that this happens, while it's happening, these blue rings come out of the sky, and both Eric and Rugrat have the 2-week curse. How that affects Eric is he heals very rapidly. If you had your legs amputated and your arms amputated, it would take months to get back to any semblance of normal. He's out of the hospital in less than a week.
He doesn't regrow his limbs, though?
He didn't regrow his limbs, but they have decided after listening to all the news reports that Eric can learn to do healing magic. He's a medic. He knows all about the body, and so he just goes into this, I can do this healing magic. I can learn to restore my leg and my arms. And he does. And before the 2 weeks is up, he has both his legs and his arm back. They decide that they are going to, if this is going to be their new life, they're going somewhere, they're going to prepare. And so they make cages, metal cages that are about the size of the ring that seems to come down around them when they're teleported. And they fill it with all the stuff that they can think of that they might need in this new world, among which are all of their guns, especially Rugrat's 50 caliber sniper rifle, and they have multiple guns, and all their camping gear and their survival gear and all the ammunition they can stick in these cages. They go loaded for bear for wherever they're going. They're going to survive, they figure. And so 2-week curse comes along. They're gone and all their stuff's gone. And they find themselves in the middle of the forest in the 10 realms. It announces it to them on their blue screens. You are now welcome to the 10 realms. You are now in realm number 1. The forest is full of monsters that are out to kill them. And they fight the monsters. They win. They're very good at what they do. The monsters aren't that hard to deal with compared to what they've been through in their life. And so they're pretty good at surviving. They find places where there are people. It's a medieval society with magic and swords and spears is the way people fight each other. And it's all set up around power. If you have power, you lord it over everyone else. And so they quickly run up against some people who have power and want to show them that they have power and find out that they can't. Because Eric and Rugrat are smart enough, experienced enough in fighting, both knife fighting, martial arts. They're good at it all. The people don't get the second chance when they attack them. This was an excellent book. It's a 10. I loved this book with one caveat, and that's that the language is very realistic to what you would find in an army barracks. It's very uncomfortable in the first 2 chapters. Slows down after that, but there's spots where it just shocks you. When they get mad and start telling people off, they tell them off in the language that they learned in the Army and in the Marine Corps. And it's not PG language.
So what would you put the language at?
I put it at profane.
Okay, so it's profane.
It's P.
It's the deepest we go.
That's as deep as we go. I must admit, I'm halfway used to it. I was in the Army, and I got used to the language in the Army. It wasn't comfortable, but I got used to it. And I really enjoyed this book. Sexuality is PG, sex implied but not talked about. Violence is VB, violent, bloody, shockingly described mayhem. This is a world of war. Monsters kill people kill people, and armies kill people, and you're right in the middle of it.
It's all described in good detail.
And it's described in very good detail. And I loved it. It was a good book. If you can live with some of the language that's going on, I think you'll enjoy it.
Okay. All right. Well, I probably won't read that one, but it sounds interesting. There's plenty of other books you've got out there that are 10s as well. So
that's true.
Well, hopefully you enjoyed what we had.
Yes, I think you'll enjoy some of these books. Take a look and let us know what you think.
Yeah.